Abusua your friend is a Dinosman. Aha is a news TV so near mamu na akwaba. Ena yebedi nkomo kakra na yahwe yesikasem budget monsensem inflation. Ena afi private schools aya include omo senior high schools nso. Penipa ye ne na yibehia edi nkomo ene wawe akwada usikasem pa eba ne business so a odi mu akotene pa. Mami twa me homra sisi a na afi yemfa nkomo no hyehyɛ so ha is a news TV so. Eba yesi a Obusia me samu akwaba is a news TV so nie. Peni a yene ne bedi nkomo ene eye wonmunyamfo Prince Joseph SOREGAN. Ono na ye director Edema Page One Educational Complex. We chartered accountant, SI finance expert. Na wono ene ye bunu East Regional Chairman Edema Ghana National Association of Private Schools. Ono na yene ne bedi nkomo. Director emu akwaba.
Ya jaminu ya.
Ejidi se ho ye.
Ya minimum pai boy ho ye pa.
Ishia na check akra.
Sa.
Na mo bo adwuma so ye ba ha mfu say ha bibia koyi pa na me nhira mo so
nyame minimum pai bo
we da nyame
teach mama emwa
nyame
adofo mwa na e de bedruba bi edrint de aseda be ma nyame
ye da nyame ase na ena ye pese edi nkomo kakra na ye pese ye hwe ye ka inflation any budget ya ene finance minister e de ba betu be se ye ka say inflation ye de ade
no kwasem na se ansa na no mame mfa kwanya we so nchia watiefo nyina ne wahwefo na ye mom abaso wajima pa mo body asom Ghana man ene teach mama nyina inflation ade a se ye kan potokasa ma the rate of which are normal ebo ekoso
okay
the rate of which prices of goods and services increase.
Okay.
That is what we call inflation. Enti sebiu se wode ba abubu maye maame no mate ase a wo hwe se enora na ade no bo eyesi na enne akosi. A rate na echena obekọ na akosi adechia na akosi no eno na yehwe.
Okay.
Anti mostly na inflation no your inflation and your deflation.
Okay.
And deflation no yet say be a no money born
okay.
But inflation is a no money born a cost and I say a cost na you two number rate is saying the cost it's saying a page afa.
Okay.
In this ubesti dia in 2022 edruba bina inflation rise ya to almost 54%. Let's say nka sabre no beto ade na ade be chon beko na etu sisi no ohwe ene ya abafoma free 2023 2024 atima abafoma ma ene yanya single digits inflation September figures na ye 9.4 and October about 8. It is projected say ye koni see ya the end of the year is likely say ibenya 6.4% inflation. That is a projection rate. And on the say normal bo say a rate to normal bo no a swat kra na say impo agina things are fairly stable.
Okay.
Into no we share and so economically you can feel say the figures that are kept out there no really is reflecting in the market. Because you don't share building materials drubabina cement bo edabe 120 and now many say cement is 80 cedis but be 78. It tells you say cement ni bo no abafom na ba abafom no nko ano wo hwe say ebegina ho no bra he ne yatutu enkosa nti agina nti ama say kaza inflation rate na ba single digit it tells you say here no correct. Okay. Iron rod at the beginning of the year na da be 9,000 something. See iron rod that 7,000. But because me 6,800 per ton. Okay. It tells you say inflation no above form. And above form ankasa. Okay. Ebi una de ma na 2022 2023 kra na ba de na ma inflation basket and as inflation no akosoro pa food the food inflation aduane bo. But currently utimusa aduane bo abafo yenya yewo private schools won say ye de aduane na ye adwuma bebre rice ana bia na ye to no 800 900 no say rice kro na okudwoma but for my ultimate be around 500 and not even 4 or 600. Sugar boy at a point here to sugar almost 700 to 800. Say sugar is 540. Oil echo could do 1,000 Ghana cedis in number from to 800 500 plus. But you see, inflation no there na a boy in say yes stable say na it helps planning. It keeps you in business. Than say sade no kwa ne boarding na wonim say ne boarding see na etie na e betime gina ho for the next 3 months 6 months or 1 year. It helps everybody. But the AI friend galloping hyperinflation I say a two no money board and no na ya do ba bia na ateki your consumption power out of you because sikana o de kotono obedu wakodu dwom na ontimi nto wakobusa de ne bo wabeboaboa no obekono na wosika obepeye no entimi nto basa na adwen. But so far with these figures you can really see from the market say there is that reflection say but you see what we businessmen and then timamfo aye penny say the sustainability how to sustain. You see all the microeconomic indicators they are all looking very good and positive for the country. But the question is how long can we sustain it?
But you need aba bedru 8 se simpre but nia wonam kuma nia manfo bi no so kan say still na ye nya reflection no we butum. Is it say there was some group of people bi omo ne benya sa reflection still e binya ana say e den na this anu ema
se see obi ka say onya that reflection no wo ne butum ma won say Ghana for no ebi obi be ka say sika ni ne butum. There is one thing say wonni sika e wo butum. There is another thing say inflation above form na and reflected. Now like I said ye wo ha hwan na mfroka obi afroka and na obekwa ko hwe no car bo no for the last one say e bayama transport fare kwa you to move by 50 so by 15%. They see na you too. So it tells you say stable. You have nka ebia enenka pragia ye fa no 5 cedis no senka inflation no eda so cost e de e na it means say on ranka pragia me be fa no 10 cedis. So the mere fact say yen too mo kra is a reflection.
Not just say e be reflect here enye sika e gu butu
enye sika e
me ma bo no
eno na ma ebia na first no kra 2 cedis out me to ade baako and 2 cedis no to me to me let's say I reflect it. Like I said, and then first, 120 could just buy you 1 bag of cement. And then 120 will buy you 1.5 bags of cement. So it's a reflection. If you a bag of rice, ananka obetono, it be 800, and then ukra 500 and 600 ultimato. It's a reflection. I'm all consumption power no akoso. But na is and reflecting a bottom ni dey. Kopem say obe ye juma. No when you scan. And no so interest inflation above from now we can trade 1 cedi and then you 2 cedis. No, but the real value of the money no and I appreciate it. Your salary could still be maybe let's say 5,000 and yesterday your salary was 5,000. Today your salary is still 5,000 and even say increment could by even say I cost 6,000. But in real terms, you realize your economic power, your purchasing power has increased. And then aduane boa ba former abro na no kra na mampanyi kra e ka ho asem say ukodwoma akuafo no isu say omom meto bi na bo no nso aba form to say ombeboka. It is good for yen yetimamofo no, but akuafo so ye de eboka. So we now have to see how can we mitigate the impact. Fertilizer boa ba form ana we decide boa ba form ana akuafo mo farm input, how can we subsidize it na eno no so atima ba form. And this nkaduane boa ba form there is good generally for the economy. But then yes as na akuane no koso aboka no bio. So the multiplier effect and say etina dodo na no buru bio, especially considering this weather na ade one no buru na ebesi akọ esend ya kodu ba bio de. Nti e ba time say ya and I think say the government of the day, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, led by the Agric Minister, they are doing something good through the buffer stock. They are buying the food to store, but that is just one leg of it. the farm input. How can the prices come down for the ordinary farmers? And you can see, say, for now, at least, born fertilizer form, but still, that's what it was wrong. So we think that the government will still have to do something so that we can mitigate the impact. Now, and so when you're attractive for others to go into farming. The one said, or my develop here. And yen in Africa, no, we have always said, and especially Ghana, our backbone of this economy has been agriculture. But over the years, we've done less when it comes to agriculture. We still depend on the weather. We still depend on wool and cutlass. We still depend on just the mercy of when to even get fertilizer. Sometimes you even go to the market and Rebecca just fertilizer no crash water. And say, to me, a year normal be bria. For now, I think say in the future we may get a benefit. Other than that, that's what ABC. And no kahuna mabunu of today, no. This time round, we have a lot of method that it me a farmer. You don't need a big land to do farming. But but the yield, the technology is not there. The extension officers are not there. Even if they are there, their services are not felt in the ordinary farmer. So I think that we have to take a paradigm shift going forward to make sure we are able to produce more.
Now, Yako Kuyayomuno, this is the time Yenya Ghana, Yenya Mampenibia was saying Kuyani. Do you think, say, for the first 10 months, getting to 11 months here, what by Kuyayomun Semno, agri sector, no, or ye, or improve, and I say, the home of my was a or Pidgam Mamaka.
So you want to give credit to your Mampani. But you also want to give credit to the current agri minister. In fact, even though Ube can say, okay, Mampanyin assemble a team on that.
Yes, I do know.
The minister in charge of agriculture, Honorable Eric Opoku, and then the deputies, they are really doing very well. We hear Eric Opoku, a man of practicality. He believes in going down, but on Kasabebre, but he and he's known of the intellectual capacity to say what being unimade.
Hardly so because of Kasapa.
Good. But a banner Jumana, he goes down because so we have buffer stock strategy nearby now. They're able to sense the market say, maybe be faster a behaging. And you know, Yencha say ento a normal. I mean, it's been long time Yenti did harder. A bio wishes a CIA, Ngokon get project a buyer na. That project, you know, a woman and run a company launch, but before the launching, not the signal has gone out there and people have started embracing it. Then the support was they were already giving support to those doing the large scale farming. You see, I just said Koshia bo abafom. I'm a babu. Mampanya ya say yen tumi nto nkosua nto ho enne a yen koye senior high schools na yen supply omo with nkosua see ya say omo say omo amoye school feeding program the senior high schools no egg must be part of the meal. One, we are increasing the protein diet for our children, and two, we are helping these farmers. And then three, we are putting people in business. So for me, it shows a clear signal say they are into business and they want to do something. The only thing that is still left are you say farming servicing sector, and I say say oh yeah, Juma, yeah, the tractors near the person service I don't know how far that policy has come, but at least it's one of the best policies that can happen to this country. Yes, if the initiative is rolled out, say, Ube to me as a farmer, you can just go to a certain sector, get the support, get the extension officers, get the materials, and come and start production. I think is the best. So my point will always continue to be say, how can we sustain it? Because he is really doing something practical. But we need to sustain. And so now we need to also change your taste and preference. ye Ghana for no. Once a ye taste and preference na kwa say we like foreign goods.
Foreign goods. As a free abuchi na ba
Good.
papa.
Nra mampanyin ka say rice crab. Ama see into me ento. Meanwhile we are still importing rice. So what is the link? And that is where the feeder industry come in. Our industry should be able to pick it up quickly, turn the rice to something. Are you getting to biscuits, to I mean, a lot of things are a bit made to powdered form so that we can keep them for long. So we expect say the feeder industry project, should also become a reality.
Okay.
And that linkage, because so what study at this particular government or series of things or as a ministry be a track another ministry until was so be a play in a car see na yetumi boana going forward you who say the economy we can sustain this. See, it means sustaining these gains for a long time and it will be good for as a country and for our development.
That time that's ye budget so na mami ntwa me homra na afei ye mra budget so wa kire mu pa ahwefo high is a news TV mami ntwa me homra sisi na afei ye hwe expectation on budget. Ahwefo mu nyina kwa abade is a news TV so ni Owura Prince Joseph SOREGAN ena ye ne di nkomon wadi ka kire mu pa na e kire se wa bin ye pa ma ye hwe budget no ni expectations so far aban yi ba ye na dodo wadi budget ayi kono senior projection sen na Ghana economy no ene ensen besi akọ director ye hwe enne na nyame adoma finance minister e de budget ne ba na what expectations ne sen
I say ya mamra na edibu oman na 1992 constitution no ehye mampanyin se afibia no onam ne finance minister so ne foto samfo so de yakọ masika ekoto oman no anim na sesia no hwe oman panyin a waba ne finance minister we the macroeconomics indicators in Bibia is almost Bibia is looking at a positive direction. Okay. And like I said, first inflation is at a single digit. Exchange rate is fairly doing well. When you look at our growth, our GDP, we are growing beyond the projection of 4.4%. We are growing above that. Okay. It tells you the economy is expanding. Okay. And then you are looking at the unemployment rate. And as you see, the headache to us. And now in this government and also more flashy programs, the way they are rolling out and launching them, we are now going. My expectation is that this budget will see funding for all those flashy programs. Okay. Because Mampani have launched a series of flagship programs, promises in their budget, in their manifesto has been launched, and a lot of them that were not even in the budget along the line has been tackled. Okay. The expectation is that we are going to see a dedicated sources of funding for those ones. You see, he did one thing, especially during the 2025 budget. We had a dedicated source of funding for the free senior high school. Okay. And you can, from where I sit, you can see that I have said that the free senior high school is the best thing that has happened to this country in the last decade. No two ways about that. And give me every day, any day, I will give the managers of the economy then for taking that bold initiative. Okay. The previous government for starting free senior high. The implementation had challenges. This government came and is continuing it. And so far, led by the education minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, I can say they are on a good track and they are doing very well. Okay. And that dedicated source of funding has cleared all our doubts. Say, Obabi Chum, Obabi, say the review now, we've come to appreciate it. It's a positive review. Okay. Now we are also looking at health insurance. Look at the service provided. I am told reliably, say month by month they get their omusika. So now you don't go to hospitals to see a lot of say health insurance are now valueless because the providers are getting their money. And this dedicated source of funding, which is the big push project that Mampani launch here, and I have always criticized Nukrum Coin when Bole, Solar Coin, and Wachasod. Look at all these big projects, and he's expected to deliver them within 2 years.
Yes,
we are going to look at the sources of funding. And one time, someone says, "Oh, here, Abanya, in the first year, we have been able to finance this budget."
And only who young for focus, remember you free tertiary schools. You say first year you treat more. I feel disabled for you to your phone school fees. Now, I'm not focus economy and crash there.
And you see, economy non crash because said your more corner now. Say your corner sad once he has been able to fail, or more 2 year leakages, and yeah, solid. We show the general reporter. It just a leakage, is still wide, but then it tells you say Sikaso organ.
Okay.
And we can go back today and pick the former president's word. Nanado say Yeti Sikaso because Yemai Mono is rich and endowed.
Okay.
Ghana, we have everything. One of the best thing every day, any day, we will need to praise His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for is the Gold Board establishment. Look at the contribution of Gold Board led by the Chief Executive Sami Jemfi. Look at the amount of money that they've been able to mobilize to this country. IMF say 3 billion. I'll be able to get in excess of 6 billion within a short period, and it's still counting. And it's expected I think 10 to 12 billion there the country can be able to reap in.
Okay.
Before that, where were those monies? Now it is said that Ghana is the leading producer of gold. You're overtaking South Africa, no Odikan. Are you getting it? Okay. So it tells you say leakage is and I wish the government in a posture right from the word go, from the fact to say what it in ministers from 80 something to 60. Okay. And even for now he has been dealing with less than 60. You get it? Now Omatina sustain so mutimi sustain na trimu debi amma omutima we believe is say obetimi ato aso ade ba akwa government wins why ye pan say for the first time yante say all contractors or all contract be cancelled. Meaning had the dig Ghana. Okay. Anytime any government will assume power and cancel contract, you allow contractors to take they go free. Some have received some amount of money that do not compensate the work that has been done. Okay. But the fact that you cancel the contract, are you getting it? Some get 50% of money and work done is 30%. But one of our cancel contract, one guy's all in your contract. If you cancel contract now, you make the cost of the contract to become higher because the prices of goods and services will not be the same. Yes. In the next time that you re-award the contract. And the over group by a duplication of effort. Okay. And every group by not the deterioration. Now, normal, we don't get the benefit on time. Currently, this government, in terms of road construction, we have seen that they've not stalled any contract, and one thing is that they are not thinking about the credit. So previous government na starting here, and if they can continue this way and even go back and take contracts and projects during their time, from even Rollins time, Professor Me or his son John Dramani Mahama time for time things and that's why new project the country will be in the right direction. Wow. So I'm thinking we are expecting that today's budget we'll look at it from that angle. Say they will be funding for all these flagship projects while launching the big push, they will be funding for it. It will be mentioned in the budget. Okay. If you one thing that this country me share TV and me machine. So we share amount for all corporate security service soldier as small mama. Look at the teaming youth. It tells you that we are sitting on a time bomb. The unemployment rate is a security threat to us. So it's all of us. So we have to wake up. We have to wake up and start. Look, this is only military. And look at the people. In fact, free money for currency. But the worry I get is so all these young, energetic youth are there, and the unemployment rate keep on increasing. We are adding up. Just say you take drastic measures. Our country, we may not. You bet me you no money in but actually no.
And we should crack SHS graduating one.
You get it. It tells you one. It's good for the economy because you have a certain workforce. You have the workforce, the labor force is there, readily available, energetic economy. And just say ye mabunu no, just say economy no, mabunu na doors. So how can we make capital gains out of it? How can we take that as an opportunity? Hana ya make us say abayin kwan to me. The government should start empowering the private sector.
Okay.
So that the private sector, on the Mampani, the former government introduced you NAPCO. I said that was one of the best initiatives, but the implementation, Senanka, at that time, I suggested this in your studio with Nana. I said, look at that amount, Nana Edima Mabuno. 700 cities for 2 years. Multiply that 700 cities for that 2 years. That will be around 16,400. Yes. Give it to the Mabunis on Fanco starting business. 100 of them, with them 50 fairly, 50 will survive and employ the rest. Okay. I am telling you, the young graduate, woman 20,000 a year, but our bus system no be charge, you know, 50,000 cry. A lot of them need capital. Obi here 5,000. Obi business or start with 1,000 are starting. Say yes, tuning your mabuno orientation. Say ye try my junior free say oh we school be pay juma than say oh we school be start juma. Now the entrepreneurship course will be out in university. Entrepreneurship we should start it from level 100 to level 400. Okay. It should be compulsory. It should be a core subject for entrepreneurship. Okay. That everything that you want to do, think entrepreneurship. Yes. Na yenya sonasene. Okay. Ebinimo ha, mabuno Ghana mabuno nya kwadwofo. I can tell you for a fact that Ghana mabuno nya kwadwofo. By our system no moye. Okay. This say yenya capital, obi nya capital na no minia baako na madam fu baako kwa manone. Osisika ode koye. Pa na ohwe bra obre ho ba saa sika ne senke de man wo ha onko de beye bibi ba o pesika no anga ye mfa man yes onko nga ye beka se bi nya den eni ho
so ko de benye bi ama
e be friend burger are you getting it but o share out me so obre the American say yen so mabuna na senke entina napco no mega say it was good but the initiative was because the idea was to give a mabuna no but it was temporary job till when and think I am more capital mum. No common fan starting BB. Would more I'm not saying that you get 100%. 50 may fail. Okay. But let the 50 no emfankoto iPhone. My 50 no emfankoto tadenshe. My 50 no and like but then there is a certain 50. Me to me the employ a binuma or my feeling. And that alone ebe ye disuama achirima. Na anka appropriately going forward say the economy ni be shifting on from say ye nyina ye twen ma aban abefa and best onhwa ye nkoba bia
na ye hwe senia economy ni siko any exchange rate unsusu se ebi afiwe nko na wie ya na years to come the exchange rate betumi asan ba from pa cedi against dollar.
The expectation for me, my expectation is not the cedi to come down again, the exchange rate to come down again. Okay. My expectation is for it to be stable. And one thing that gives me assurance is that the Atofossil-led finance ministry can stabilize it. And say, Anka, share the economic trend over the years. This period that year called Christmas, it's expected to there was a cost.
So as a
the city dancing around 10 cities, 11 cities, 12 cities, at whereas 13 cities should be sustainable for us. Okay. Over a long period. Okay. For me, even at the end of the administration of this government, not city not that so dinner within that period, it could be good for the business community. Okay. But the business community is not looking for a stronger CDO. Okay. Mostly what we are looking for is a stable city. Okay. That will help us plan. that will help us do our businesses and be assured say we will not be losing capital. There will not be just a mocker. Because what of far the aba over ton ye o kofa de no bo kosoro a dollar no nti exchange rate. What the exchange rate cost right effectively be nti na hwe fuel bo. Above from. But se see no start say e kwa e be kosoro. Fuel bo so kosoro e bibia be kosoro. Nti de hwe nyina ne say for me as far as the exchange rate is concerned, we should be able to stabilize it. And the stability, and I see you measures of you ask yourself how sustainable. Okay. We need to produce more and export more so that we can get in more forex. And nothing America said, when the agriculture sector is doing well, the industries, the feeder industry must begin to yield results. And that is why we also give credit to Yaya Mami Elizabeth Ofoswajare, who said, in the ministry now, so that we can produce more and export more. And see why we will need all of us to change our taste and preference. So me call drama and so Ghana nimpa I will prefer that to be free. Good. You now will have a role to play. And the better see ahoden no agina brane enya sa emere bia na ye pompe sika from bank of Ghana ye man that support na eno no sustainability no enye guaranteed enye guaranteed. So we have to start exporting more and then importing less. Until our industry we need to open up. We need to open up our industries.
Nti director yenhwe say budget year be yenhwe ni mu should we expect new taxes?
No. We shouldn't expect new taxes, but we have a clue of what model the taxes is going to be, because Finance Minister Ashe said one COVID levy. We expect to be free. COVID levy. Once taxes no omucha levy no more COVID no because na collateral. But this budget they expect to say be free because omashe yambo. Ebio ye VAT system no I so be realign no. So we will see something around the VAT system, but we don't expect new taxes. The only tax you expect to be the road to say back, but they are looking at the modality that I bet you they are buying here where you so now. It tells you say they mean business when it comes to our road infrastructure, and we need a certain source of funding to keep our roads maintained for a longer period. So we think that the road to they have promised that they need to come back, and they need to come back in a better shape than before. Other than that, we are not expecting any new taxes, because our government now the demeanor, the posture, they want to move from taxation to production. So we don't expect to see more taxes. But say baako anamie no bi odane ani a enye menwanwa eno na ye especially road to na meka ho say na ye VAT system. So what's the idea? Your VAT system no ye watch is here we pay tax on tax. Ultimate to ade then we calculate health insurance bi one calculate na ye dey answer na say charge VAT no. And I think say ni nyina na adwen. We want to see something around that.
What about tax increment? So you betumi enye bibisa?
No, for now we don't expect it. What we want to do is we have to widen the tax bracket. Once Ghana your taxes be brave, but efficiency in its collection and a problem. Do not say your rent tax away your gift tax away your capital gain tax away but the enforcement. And as all hands are tax and also among for crabbing it taxes, and I mean the direct taxes. Few ones that have been captured. A lot of people that are doing well are not part of it. See amazing. That is it.
Carpenter for
tax. So, but Monson I thought that one say sika contractors near there. So we have to have a modality of widening the tax bracket so that we can bring a lot of people to pay tax. Then the tax system should be efficient. Say, but you bet you more revenue. This one say the government now born a home modern. No, we need the audio taxes say Ghana for 2-3 deal. Like some people say, oh, Ghana for petrol. It's not true. But over the years, we have been disappointed what our taxes has been used for.
Okay.
And that is why sometimes make it difficult for us to say petrol. No. The ordinary Ghanaian wants a peaceful economy, want an economy that is doing well, want a stable economy, wants say or security assured. So we want our security to be operative. The ordinary Ghanaian want the water to be flowing. The ordinary Ghanaian want the electricity to be fairly stable. You get it? Now no electricity stable. Introduce you 1 cedi in the fuel. At least, have you seen that you accept it? Obietia, ya jetum, and a ye who no resource. But say, would you win in another resource? Ghanaians will rise up. So, fairly, I thought that, and yes, a Ghana for na yen petrol tier. No, because a Ghana for petrol tier. Would you have so what's not Auditor General's report on one a public account committee? No, both we say we're Ghana.
Because I am forced to this channel.
You get it. And I think that it's about time. Those monies, I was saying to me, na ye jina in terms of cry. Because I always see car. Oh, come on. You ask yourself, why are we doing this to our country? Why, as a country, some of us are just doing things as if there is no tomorrow. So I think that we are not expecting new taxes, but at least we are expecting modifications in some of the taxes, and then the tax bracket should be widened for others to also be able to pay their taxes.
But I say, we try to have a Siana for a private school. I was some more about Bibiza News TV. When a last judgment, I did Medina in a Benevier. Director, young recently. Omucho BCW and Kodebeku School, President Kase, Omu include some private schools, senior high schools, said their account. As a choir and Komoka Cray, Binumose, a binary budget private schools, living at the other. Wakakoya Regional Chairman, Dema Ghana National Association of Private Schools. Sign system Lankasabe operating.
My main Kwenya way so na on behalf of your leadership, National President Professor Damascus Turosong, na yenna Education Minister Honorable Haruna Idrisu. No kwasem ne say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, then candidate yene no Asia as private school and yedi yeni swadi hunu and me this ready two nanim na ye bosse oba obey diso amaye na oba ye no yantiana ye kokai His Excellency through Education Minister say mo manifesto say na kana bosse na His Excellency ashaye no kwasem papa no ba ye no private schools wentweyanja for the first time in the history of this country papa ye bi ni all the policies na o share yembo in their manifesto no ye hunu popoye in their first year one o share yembo say na ye wo ha obi a friend no 30% priority placement system before that na Shakraba private school na owie JHS na ye postuna category A schools no ye wo emu 30% space e wo ho no they are reserved ama public schools na 70% na aka no ye public ni private no abeche yen wo hwe ya mamra constitution na edibu man na e kire say discrimination nti yen hu ni say discrimination against us say the fact is we call private school no be called public should not determine your chances of entering a category A school if all of you have passed and with the same credentials then o say yembo so oba obeye bibi afa ho abanda da no honorable duchum ye bo no but oba ye no tie yesufre was slashing 30% by 15%. We still think say it was a free hope, but then the fact is say or tie so ka say abusuan for afi na maba Oma membre na me steady system no kakra. You see ya na dey say na metumi aye no. Me ye na 15% na ebere komu no. Ye be hunu kwan ya be fa so aye. At least uni nipa kasa say ya efe. Na o tie so frɛ. Na ama aye adwuma. Ebio mampanyin hye ye bo say free senior high no. Ono mampanyin John Dramani Mahama who say e ya depa. Na mom otena akire na wo hu say how be brave ewo. Oba review no. Now how about woman said that double track na eba no say the quality of education. Now the akofa double track aba ni nyina say enam say free senior high engine nkwa no doso aban no nso nsan so no ho so enti ne dan na kire fo ni na ho akade en ehwa okasa obeye ni nyina so abeteki ne mre yen so ayeye ankrankra schools no so yasisi ya dan dada ye we kire fo dada free senior high yin so ba yeso enti enkra so ma ye hobio because obi ani wo obenya free o se me kotua sika nti na ma yen so kwa ye nyuma egu yes orenzo ye dia no can say the private sector is the engine of growth enti then obi tuma ya bridge the car no ka so okay mprempren ya de obeya ne say obema ye nkora ni bi into the free senior high na yen no said ye operate your system na that obi betua sika opese oba private school still bra na mom nkora bi nso obe offload e de amaye na masa double track no watimate so kopim bra o ebi ono ne nsambe so no ho so obesisi na dan nyina and na ye nim say bia oh what by the we say next year next 2 years the first term 1 year na or say free senior high 60 private schools me de account afi you dey account you know portal no ho nti wo failure na wa choose am say ya de nkra ko senior high private schools na mom o che yembo say wontumi mfa ka ne nyina nkra obekọ ho no o ma day status nti nkra no sika ode be man is just for day nti no nya boarding na mom say akra no pe boarding dia na say yen ye wo boarding facility a ye internal arrangement nti sa
akra na
atua aha na say obetena ni fie no wa den wa bana ne maame ana ne papa han dan so ye nyina nim say aban na nkasa schools no dodo na akra ye day nti say yen private wa ma ye day status a ye nije and in fact it was a welcoming news to us and we think say the government have been so good to us and so far so no we share dede na yet no free senior highs mo nyina no dodo na so na ye feeding it's a feeding system ni nyina wa decentralize no ni nyina above for mama ye so we think that so far as the education sector is concerned so far so very good again in the private sector yenim say aban no ne yen edi ne ye na mum ye course wasre say on say da bia ye ka menua uba me school mu hai say nkra e wo ha yem fa ne say sa school yi ni wona nkra ni nyina e kwa aban school a anka de how kese ebeba aban no so nka aban no be wo say e bia o expand ni school ni teacher nti sa wo hwe sa abede na yen ya fa na e kire say ye bo aban no nti aban no nya nhyehyɛ a mere bia be ma ye komo eden acho yen na eno na ye ka say ba na sa ade ba kwa hwe anim ni say books aya aban no etworo na o chema ono ani schools no yes say books no say on fam ma ye free kura na onye bi available ba obekọ na etworo book no strictly not for sale so the Ghanaian child in the private school is at the mercy of other publishers onye bi no can just say you copy other publishers na yato but yes you need say aban no all the materials the competencies are so because o three book o hwehwem approved books no the ba out eno na nka wase nka ye nyina na nka de wo a no de wa ban school de wo sua no eno na de so ye nyina so hwe ba akuya the end of the day nka say we private for mo so hwe ni we aban for mo so hwe ni nti nka we making those resources na available at the subsidized price on the home family free should be available ebio wo hwe ye hawa to that funding a problem your school we should say and that's we see 6 unit classroom you need not less than 1 million Ghana cedis once in a way to me and oko German so now oko Djibouti so interest na high in think aban hu say at least you know we should me higher adwumayefo nkwan wo higher 50 something. Wow. Imagine the support given. Yeah, they take unemployment rate. So it's the interest of the government for me to be in business. So that one, he will get his taxes. 2, he will be curing unemployment. And 3, the children I bear burden on him, will be offloaded. Are you getting it? And it's almost supporting maybe funding. Now you loan at a lesser, rate. Your means of transport. It is known say private schools here use means and they fire on crack. And most of times it's known say buses and be not in good shape. We should have the Ghanaian child at heart. And the proprietor is willing, but Todana ahoɔden no ɛni hɔ nka aban no mmoa yɛn na nka yɛ kra bases no kɔ ɔmfa ma yɛn wode at the same market value na ɔma yɛn mmerɛ na yɛntua no kakra or spread ma yɛ 5 years yɛbɛtua ma no anka ne nyinaa yɛ support a ɔde bɛboa yɛn na nka yɛtuma expand yɛafa nkora bebree yɛafa adwumayɛfo bebree na ɔno ane kɔn mu nso ayɛ den ahenhan nti we think say they are doing well but they need to do more for us.
Okay, private school ho nkomo yi mepɛ sɛ yɛbɛpɛ da paa na yɛdi ho nkomo yi because sɛnea wodi nkomo yi aban no wɔ ne ɛwɔ so ɔyɛ deɛ na other matters arise na ɛba kora kyerɛ sɛ bi wɔ kora obi tumi wɔ university so akora KG2 na class 4 na work wode ma university ni a ɔyɛ ma na no wati nti ni nyinaa yɛ matters ɛwɔ sɛ yɛhwɛ is it because books na na say na yɛbɛpɛ brɛ na ahyia na yɛdi ho nkomo na yɛdi wie no o final words ya de magana fo nyinaa na afei aban no na yɛmfansi
me final words ne sɛ yɛbɛda ɔmampanyin ne n'aboafo ase na yaka sɛ so far sɛ de ɔmoyɛ ɔmo nɔma no yɛnkɔ so a na yɛntoto nɔma yɛ na adwuma bia aban dada no hyɛ aseɛ no ɔmo nhwɛ dia na ɔmo nfa ɔmo ntoa so nkɔ awie pa na sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a yɛ nɔma bebree akeka ewura mu no ɛto betwa ebio mabu no adwuma sɛm no yɛntwe yɛ ni hwɛ hɔ every sector yɛsi a security no ɛfa nkra no yɛnhwɛ sɛ the education sector so ɔmetuma employ wohwɛ ukɔ health sector yɛwɔ batches bebree ɔmotete fie enti no nanse yɛhu sɛ aban assign contract with aman foforo a yɛde nkra ne bi bɛkɔ yɛnyɛ saa no mo nyina because you see there be a unemployment a security threat. Okay. And now here security is expensive in everything. It's expensive. And all of us must be concerned. Okay. I feel uncle no man you bet me be a juma far for frono. Yemwa. Maybe answer me say where Ghana phones no a juba be a subini a buyer a woman some a juma phones a juma be in so I didn't yen sense I dream. Or before we juma yen need no cray. A buy no one to me yet. The abaye ye say ye yan say adwen na ye nyina yan ka say ye permanent kanko but obi pen ho entem anya ebe ha ye nyina it come back and bite us the besre the youth of today yemfa yensan ye adwuma obi ampa adwuma na obi so de adwuma ntom wo a ye ne ye fa onim de fa ho den fa onyansa ye nyame be hyira ebre duru say nyame pegyawa obi pegyawa bible says so you obi de ye a na won so de den nti besere sɛ obi bia bɛboa na yɛde yɛ support ama aban no both opposition ne ɔmo amowo aban mu nyinaa wo a wanya adwuma ne bi yɛ no yɛ na yɛ ne yie wo a wunya bi nso no bɔ modern sɛ wo pre ne nyinaa no wo pre no kwampa so na adwuma wo nso benya no na yɛ nyinaa yɛtumi yɛ de aboa afei yɛ masons yɛ carpenters ne yɛ project aban yɛ especially contracts obi ahwɛ sɛ kwan no yɛnyɛ ne nnɛ na ɛkyena atutututu menua wonim ade baako a ɛbɔ ha yɛn sɛ yɛnti na mofo ka ho contractor yɛ kwan na adwumayɛfo ɔtɔn cement ɔmo ni cement shop yɛ a yɛte area hɔ yɛ na yɛtɔ cement no
because ne boɔfo
kwan ne sɛ yɛ hwan na ɛha no
ya na ɛha
nti sɛ ɛnɛ sɛ yɛ nyina yɛ adwen sɛ obi antɔ cement ɛmfiri contractor hɔ contractor tanka besi hɔ a na yɛatwe mu diesel na yɛ de akoto ama driver wontam ho school feeding aduane na beba na matron binum etwin kofi headmistress binum etwin kofi ye yesi ya na normal ne say na send the blame akoto aban so all of us we need a paradigm shift right from our religious body na nanom ye nyina aban mo mpanyimfo ye nyina ra it's about time say minor ye tuni ya adwene na yesesa na aboye nyina
yɛda se owura yɛ ne di nkomo ene ɛyɛ onunyafo Prince Joseph Soregan or a chartered accountant, a finance expert, or some educationist, just a business tycoon aspect na or na yada was so in your brain now here aha is a news TV, all social media handles, your YouTube, your TikTok, and Facebook, share is a news TV, only in between at common. Now with your comment, share from my na bibi at Chinabi, then to me some for emeralds, yada was say, let me show, brepom give us a share.